I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Friday, November the 14th. The 2014 Rutgers football season started. I don't know if any of us circled the 15th of November against Indiana as a program-changing game. But as you look at where this Rutgers season has been, the high highs early in the season, starting off with a very nice victory on the West Coast on that Thursday night against Washington State. Some of the lows, the last three games here, the gauntlet of Big Ten games. You've looked at a season that has had big ups and big downs, a little bit of disappointment sprinkled in. And now you look at this game here against Indiana, the final home game of the season. Rutgers can win, get to 6 wins, and get to bowl eligibility. But what if Rutgers loses this game? And it will not be easy, in my opinion, as the numbers might say. Indiana has a very electric running back in Tevin Coleman, who is a good player and will give Rutgers some issues here. If Rutgers doesn't win this game, what happens to this program? We did our regular Rutgers chat during the week with you guys on NJ.com, and the future of Kyle Flood kept coming up. The future of Kyle Flood, even though he was given, a little bit of a contract extension earlier in this year, it wasn't one of those contract extensions that will make Rutgers, have to keep him here for 10 years, but it was a vote of confidence. It was a vote of stability for recruits coming in at that point in time. But what if Rutgers loses? Michigan State coming up after that. That is a very difficult game. And then on the road to end the season against a Maryland team who has transitioned better to the Big Ten than Rutgers. Maryland has 3 wins inside the Big Ten already, and they'll play a Michigan team they can beat this week before seeing Rutgers in a couple weeks. So that will not be an easy game either. You can make the case that if Rutgers doesn't beat Indiana, they're in trouble when it comes to bowl eligibility, and this season could spiral out of control. If Rutgers doesn't win this game, is head coach Kyle Flood's seat really going to be warm going in to the offseason? Dan Duggan, Keith Sargent, they cover Rutgers for us here at NJ Advanced Media. Let's bring them on to get their opinion. Keith, we'll start with you. If Rutgers loses this game, what is the future of Kyle Flood?
Yeah, Joe, there's no question that this is a big game for Kyle Flood. I think most people in the know feel that 6 wins, get to a bowl game, Kyle Flood will probably be back for another year. It'll mean progress in year one in the Big Ten. Whereas 5-7, it's going to raise some serious questions whether or not this program is headed in the right direction.
Keith's right. I mean, it would make things so much easier for this Rutgers season. It would make things so much easier for the future of the Rutgers program if they just get a win here against Indiana, get to a bowl game, and you feel good going into the offseason. Dan Duggan also covers Rutgers for us for NJ Advanced Media. Dan, same question. If Rutgers doesn't win this game, is Kyle Flood on the hot seat?
Hey, Joe, I think that's the question that's kind of right beneath the surface. These last 3 weeks, I don't think too many people expected them to win those games. I think there's a lot of people demoralized by how bad they got blown out. But I think everyone looked at this Indiana game as a chance to kind of right the ship, get bowl eligible. And I think, Kyle Flood's able to get the 6 wins, his first Big Ten season. I think that would, erase a lot of, or maybe all the questions about his job security. If you lose it, it opens up a lot more speculation. I'm sure we'll be talking about it quite a bit.
Folks, I think he is. You hear there from Dan, you hear there from Keith. I think that we're going to be talking here. I know the fans, I know you guys will be talking about Kyle Flood and the future of this Rutgers program if they don't make a bowl game. Now, look, I thought Keith made a really good point there. The next couple games, although Michigan State looks very difficult and Maryland looks more difficult than I thought it would early in the season, you still have to play them. And Rutgers could pull an upset. They could pull 2 upsets. And even if they lose to Indiana, they could find their way into a nice finish. But you could see the writing on the wall here. This game against Indiana isn't just for bowl eligibility. This game against Indiana possibly could be for Kyle Flood's job. And that makes it a very intriguing fall afternoon in Piscataway. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now.